More cloud providers. So, yes, 6.1 delivers another cloud plugin support, which is Microsoft Azure. We previously provided Amazon EC2 support, that's still there. We now supplement that with Microsoft Azure. But there's a few things here that we've also done as well, which is very important for the future. Python abstraction. Previously, the Amazon EC2 support in version 6 of Deadline was hard-coded into the core of Deadline. Now, the whole thing's been abstracted. It's available for you to effectively see as Python in your Deadline repository. If you go into the directory called Cloud, you'll see that there's two directories, one called Amazon, one called Azure. Underneath each of those is effectively a Python API library, which is the ones which anyone can download from the cloud providers, and together with a Python script. The Python script effectively is what we've extracted out to work with our cloud plugin API, which comes by default inside of Deadline and is already there as part of the overall Deadline scripting API. It has a number of utilities in there, which effectively allow you to build your own cloud support. So if there's a particular cloud provider that you wish to use that perhaps is based on VMware's vCloud, for example, then you can actually build your own cloud plugin support. You can look at the Python scripts that we've already written, which uses our cloud API. You can open up the Amazon, the Azure Python scripts, completely open, hack away, and build your own cloud support as well. That's fantastic. Why? Well, there's no vendor lock-in there. It's completely effectively open for studio customization because we deliver a framework. Based on this framework, it's very easy for us to add more cloud plugins providers in the future, which I'm sure we will do. Pop-up notification system. It's Windows API net send command effectively, but the problem with that in Deadline 5 was it was Windows only. Back due to popular demand. People want to send messages to each other, it would seem. So it's been renamed. It's pop-up message notification, and two things. We can send pop-up message notifications when a job has completed or failed. We just need to make those settings in the user settings. And because we've implemented it so it now works on all three operating system platforms because it's inside of the actual Deadline core, it's easier for us to write a Python script, perhaps in the task panel or in the slave panel, to allow us to actually right-click a script and send a pop-up message to somebody, but actually make it context applicable. Let's just have a quick look in Monitor to see how that works. So we'd go to the user preferences in Deadline Monitor, user settings, and the key thing here is the send pop-up notifications. We'd want to set that to true, but it's not going to work unless, of course, we tell it what computer to send it to. So it's important here to put in the computer name, and also if you're in a domain, you may also need to put the fully qualified domain name in there as well. In the same way that if you want email notifications to work, then you need to make sure you type your email address, etc., into the email address. Once these are set, a job, once it completes, will actually then deliver a pop-up message on your screen. The right-click scripts is useful because we can actually, as I said, make it context sensitive. So perhaps in the case of a job that's completed and a particular task that's completed, we can actually send a pop-up message, make it context sensitive. By that I mean it auto fills out the machine name based on the slave name and machine name that we know has just processed this task, and then we can perhaps insert a file path or folder path. We can preload from a text file some messages perhaps, and we can send a message which will then pop up on that user's screen. Obviously I've just sent a message to myself, so I'm talking to myself. More application support. New version of Deadline. That means more application support or updated version support for applications we already support. So with 6.1, we deliver V-Ray DBR for Maya and for Macs initially, as well as V-Ray version 3 support, including advanced post-submission renderer property support, changing as well in the properties. Latest version of After Effects CC, Smith Micro Software's AMI's Studio 9 9.5, as well as Cinema 4D's version 15. We've got side effects Houdini and Mantra version 13, as well as Next Limit's Maxwell Renderer version 3, and of course the Real Flow simulation tool 2013. The Foundry's Nuke version 8 is also supported. Bear in mind that we also support point releases, so you can simultaneously support in your render farm as long as you've got them all installed, 8.0, 8.1, and whatever the future may hold. Bear in mind though that if you give a path in the configure plugins section in Deadline Monitor for say 8.0 v1, then if you install 8.0 v2, you need to just make sure that you update your plugins to point to the newer point revision version of Nuke. Otherwise it will go looking for 8.0 v1 and you won't be able to find it. So client-side software, TerraGen 3 support has been added, as well as Vue 2014, and back from due to popular demand, XNormal has been re-added as well into Deadline.